Hello, I am Madam Hexaba the Witch. So glad to meet your acquaintance, or at least through this magical device. I need to tell you something that really scares me. It scares me when people do not tell enough stories. Oh, yes. And there are people that go about and they look at their devices and maybe they say a word or two. Or perhaps they interrupt each other, but there's not any true listening. Oh, now that sends shivers up my spine. And you think, well, what can I do about it? Well, there is this thing called Halloween. I look forward to it every year. And there are these kids and sometimes adults, and they dress up in the most horrid things like princesses and mermaids. And, well, anyway, some of them are really wonderful and atrocious. But once they come to your door, perhaps when they say trick or treat, what they are saying is that they want you to trick them by telling them a story which is their treat. Yes. Now you might think, oh, I really want to hand out those sugar-laden things that are wrapped up. Or perhaps you really want to give out some nice little toys. And please do. You can do that, of course, of course. But if you have a group right there with trick-or-treaters, why don't you say, if you stay just for a little bit, maybe 30 seconds, I will tell you something. And here's a short one. This is an example. There were two girls, and they walked side by side all the time. And one day, one of the girls said, "Ha! There is an old lady. I know she was a witch. She was just buried. I think I should go and spit on her grave." Well, the other girl said, "Oh, you should not do that. That is not good. That is so foolish. But I'll do it anyway, and I will prove that I was there. I know you won't believe me. So I have this fork." Now, why this girl was carrying a fork with her, I have no idea. But I have this fork, and this fork I will put into the ground of her grave as soon as I spit on it. And so the girl did as she promised. She went to the cemetery dark at night, because the night is dark, of course, and she spit on that old woman's grave. Now, why she should disrespect a witch, I do not understand, but she did. And then she took her fork and she stabbed it down into the earth. And that's when she knew it. The witch had gotten her. And she looked by the light of the moon. It was shining on something white. And she knew it was the witch's hand, her bow, much like my friend Trina. And it was dragging her down. Well, she was so scared that she fainted. But the next day, her friend came to look for her, and there she was, just fainted. She ran off and grabbed a couple of people, and they carried her off and woke her up. And they saw that it was the fork that had caught in her own dress. Well, so her right for trying to disrespect a witch. But anyway, there are lots of nice short stories that could be shared, and since you have an audience, I challenge you. Don't tell me you're too scared to do it.